Government is too big, taking in too much money. It's not our civic duty or obligation to fund a bloated and ineffective government structure. Or is it? Welcome back to Wake Up Canada News. I'm Brad Wilder. This next article is written by Gloria Karol. So is the Canadian government too big, taking in too much money and then spending poorly? Most will say yes. It's not our civic duty and obligation to fund a bloated and ineffective government structure, is it? They can downsize all they want, but they need to start to provide us with the essential services that they're mandated to in the first place, which have been well on the decline across this country for many years. Gasoline tax pays for the roads, importing and exporting tariffs, excise taxes, and royalties paid on the resources mined, forested, and even fished are supposed to pay for the essential services. Where are our tax dollars going? The current structure of council members at Winnipeg City Hall, especially Mayor Gillingham, who some wonder if he's compromised, is sitting on the board of the Capital Planning Region, or Winnipeg Metropolitan Region's 2050 plan that recently changed from the 2030 plan after citizens backlash to it all. Michael Moore is the chair and also president of the Manitoba Home Builders Association of the 2030 plan, which is a direct conflict of interest to the citizens of Winnipeg and Manitoba. Then there was the infill housing meeting that was held at the RBC Convention Centre on March the 19th, 2025. Gillingham wasn't present for that one. There was approximately 15 students that were present. They weren't versed on answering, any of the myriad of questions from the public at all. The infill housing representatives weren't aware of the affiliation of infill housing with the Capital Planning Region or Winnipeg Metropolitan Region 2030 plan, which is a global UN agenda being expedited across the planet, but Canada is on the fast track. Now, a common answer we heard from infill housing representatives at the RBC Convention Centre for questions asked was, "I'm unsure." Gillingham should have been present. He's the mayor of Winnipeg and should have been the person suited for the job, considering he feels beneficial to the citizens of Winnipeg. He should have been present, well-versed, and got to the nuts and bolts of the intrusive housing initiative that could impose a forced build on your land. You could be building up to a 4-unit multifamily dwelling inside your property line. Bottom line, Gillingham doesn't want the heat, much like meeting number 2 of the Winnipeg Metropolitan Region that had to be held rurally in Niverville, Manitoba, back on August the 8th, 2024. The meeting was canceled, and Scott Gillingham hightailed it out the back door. Kudos to the hundreds of people that shared the location and date of this rural meeting across numerous platforms. The boardroom was set up to only accommodate 220 attendees, but over 1,100 disgruntled Manitobans showed up, with the vast majority who were registered to speak being unable to even enter the boardroom. The infill housing will have the power to make a resident build a dwelling on their property if they're within 800 feet of a bus stop and will encroach on property owners' rights. Typical bureaucratic BS with a splash of grandeur in the language to bedazzle the audience is all we consistently receive from these vested, self-interested corporate lobbyists. This isn't over, and Winnipeggers and other Canadians are not impressed, as it's not just happening in Winnipeg, but Canada as a whole. Remember, money well spent is a blessing. Money poorly spent lines pockets. Thanks for watching Wake Up Canada News. Please like, share, and follow us on any of your favorite socials, including YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, BitChute, and our website at wakeupcanadanews.com. Till next time, remember that you're the voice, and it's time to make it count. I'm Brad Wilder, and I'll see you soon.